Hey guys, and I got this video that it doesn't happen very often, but when it happens, it's kind of cool. Um, Short story: I was in solo roaming in a whole Thorax, and as it always happens in Null Sec, once you hit their home system, they start chasing you, you start running away. So in other words, they had some other stuff. I quite don't remember what they had, but they couldn't catch me. So at the end, they had a Harbinger, a Arasu, and some other battle cruisers. So at the end, one of them decided that to offer me a one versus one, and this is when knowledge about the game comes out because I knew I could take him, and I'll explain the reasons later on. But let's go on the fit for the ship I was using. So I was using a whole Thorax, and it's not my favorite, but it works. What I like about it is that it offers you dual webs, which means that you can practically kill anything that gets even close to you. That's including frigates, interceptors, which is a big problem in Null Sec because that's what gets you killed. If you get scrammed by them and then the whole fleet arrives, then you're dead. With this fit, you can practically kill them in seconds and then keep micro warping. The only downside about it is because you're on bulkhead fit, then your the time that it takes to speed up is it's slowed down. Not your speed, just the time that is the acceleration time. But it's alright. It's kind of fast. It's 2900 with your micro warp drive overheated, and it pumps out around 759 DPS, depending on your drums. Of course, with dual web, you want to be using Void because it gives you more range, it gives you more DPS, and it also. But the only downside is that it's 25% less tracking. You can counteract that by having, of course, dual webs, and also by using a drug. I think it's you'll see it on the video. It's on my it's on my hanger, ship hanger, and I didn't use it because it wasn't necessary. So let's get into the fight. Like I said, there was this gang following me around, and that's the drug that you might use for better tracking. Standard drop. I use it. You can use the side, which doesn't give you side effects, but it's less bonuses. But here's the fight. So that Harbinger just was talking about me and giving me the option to go one versus one, and he wanted me to engage him at the sun, which I mean at the gate, which I didn't because he can always deaggress or people might be on the other side, and I won't know until they jump. So I told him to go to the sun. He didn't like it that much, but here's what I know: the Harbinger, it's a laser-based ship. Lasers have great optimal. They have really limited damage, which is EM and thermal, I believe, mostly EM. So that doesn't matter because I'm whole tank. And also, here's the big thing: lasers have really bad tracking up close, and I knew this from the get-go. And I know that he's only gonna be doing his drum DPS, and very rarely those lasers are gonna hit me. All I have to do is get right on top of him, and if he warped to zero, which I did, he's pretty much dead from the get-go. And this comes, like I keep mentioning, is game knowledge. I know what a Harbinger is capable of, and I know what my ship is capable of. I know that my ship puts out around 700 DPS, and even if it's dual rep, a properly dual rep Harbinger, he's gonna have trouble trying to tank all that DPS because I'm practically applying it all perfectly because I'm using Void, dual web, and I'm just pretty much just orbiting at 500 or 1000. I don't know. I think I put at 1000. I don't remember, but it really doesn't matter as long as you're orbiting that close. And pretty easy fight. If you notice, most of the time that he shoots, his laser misses, and that is what I was taking advantage of the fight because I knew that Harbinger was not gonna be able to track me at all. he probably didn't know that. He probably assumed that he was gonna be able to hit me, but that's not the case. And again, this is no skills, no anything. This is just game knowledge. This fight doesn't have Notice how I'm checking my heat though, because I want to kill him as soon as possible. Because I know that Arasu, it's on the system and they might pull out something sneaky and stuff. So he wasn't able to rep up my damage, even though his Harbinger was very tanky, but was missing a damage control and a cap booster in order to be able to fight for longer. So, I mean, very easy fight. Just watching my heat or make sure that my drones don't get killed. I'm doing a lot of DPS on him, and that's when he realized that I was bolt tank. And because he had no damage control, he couldn't rep through his whole tank, and he just pretty much got balled off once he was in structure. So again, very easy fight. It's just game knowledge. You won't find fights like this on in Null Sec, especially when people offer you a 1 versus 1. But this one's once in every few years or so that it happens. I don't know. But yeah, I just wanted to show you guys what you can do with knowing what your ship is capable of, knowing what your enemy ship is capable of, and so on. And also, I wanted to talk about his, and let's look at the enemy's fit. Here's the enemy's fit. He's using pretty standard top rack, which is heavy pulse lasers. Here's the kicker. He had a tenement afterburner, tracking computer, web, and scram, and then he was pretty much all tanking the lows. Adapted nanoplating, tech 1, energized adapted nanoplating, and then thermic hardener, which really affects me because of the damage type that I'm shooting. I think Galente, which is neutron, shoot thermal and kinetic, so he's really tanky towards that. And then an armor EM hardener, and then 2 dual reps, 1 medium armor repper tech 2 and 1 medium ancillary repper. And then on his lows, on his rigs, he's just using a thermic pump and then 2 capacitor controls. And he did that because he has no cap booster, and that's where the mistake comes, because I don't like this. I would rather have a cap booster, because sometimes you're able to tank for longer, and I will take off that tracking computer, get it out of the way. But I don't like this fit, especially because it doesn't have a damage control. I don't think it's a proper PvP fit to start with. So let me show you proper PvP fits that I think work for a Harbinger. So this is a shield Harbinger, which is also pretty much, once the new changes came out, this became really viable, because with your afterburner with your micro warp drive overheated, you go 2k and you can apply DPS up to 33 kilometers, and that's 633 DPS up to 33 kilometers, not counting if you switch to multi-freak. You'll be doing a lot more DPS, of course, less range, but you'll be doing 761 DPS with 11 kilometers, and that doesn't show in the picture I have, because that's with Scorch. And you also have a Nut, which is great for tackle, getting rid of tackle. Of course, you don't have that much tank, but it's pretty sufficient. And if you manage to play with it, you can always recharge it back in between fights and stuff like that. So just take a look at the fit. That's a fit I will use. I cannot use lasers at the moment. I'm actually training them. Within the next 2 months, I'll be able to use them. But I'm not using it because I would like to fly it, but I don't have the skills yet to fly it. And then this is the other one. This is more of it what he wanted to try to do. First, and this heavy pulse lasers again on the top, and then we have a cap booster, a micro jump drive, and a warp disruptor, and then our 50 MN micro warp drive. On the lows we have damage control, meta 4 damage control, 2 hit sinks, medium armor repair and medium ancillary repair, and then a reactor control unit. That's to make everything fit. 2 nanopumps and 2 energy metastasis adjuster. And this also goes pretty fast, not a lot, but it goes 1700 with your micro warp drive overheated. It's not meant to kite or anything, it's not a nano ship, it's more for in your face brawling, and you have the option to be able to hit at really far distances. At least with this one, you're hitting 633 DPS with Scorch, and it hits up to 27 kilometers. That's your optimal, so you're hitting up to there with that damage if you apply it correctly. Like I said, the downsides of Harbinger are very cap hungry because of their weapon system. It's kind of slow. The tank, you can actually put a really good tank. You can use plates and make it a buffer tank. It's gonna be very slow and it works better for fleets, but there's the option. And then the downsides of it is the tracking. The tracking is horrible on lasers. And then another thing is that you're locking to 1 damage, which is mostly EM and thermal damage. So I just wanted to show you this real quick fight. For some people might be impressive that you're killing a cruiser, that you're killing a battle cruiser in a cruiser, but like I said again, I knew what I was going for. I knew what the Harbinger was able to do, and I knew, most important, I knew what my ship is capable of doing. And that's what you need to understand when you're finding fights like that, because a lot of the fights you're gonna find are not skill based, are knowledge based, and demonstrating how much you're able to assess the ships that are trying to, the enemy ships, and assess what your ship can do. It can determine the output of the fight, which is really important. So I hope you guys like it. If you have any suggestions, like, and always post them negative, possibly. I always like reading your comments. Also, if you like the content, go ahead and share it with your friends. That will really help me so much. So thank you guys, and I'll keep you posted into a few more videos that I have. I just need to get around the time and find and edit them. I'm not very good with Premiere and stuff like that, so it takes me a little bit. So I hope you guys enjoy and have fun and fly safe.